What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today, March Madness starts, and I'm going to be watching the tournament because I haven't watched basketball in 3 or 4 weeks because I haven't had the internet. My internet is back, my TV is back, so I'm going to be watching that. And today, I wanted to talk about a positive experience that I had with Comcast. Now, why am I making this video? Because everything that you ever hear about Comcast, generally from everyone, myself included, is pretty negative. But I had a really good experience with them recently, and I want to talk about that because it was super cool how this one guy really helped me out. So as you know, me and Tracy moved. We closed on our house the 14th of February, second week of February, and we basically have not had internet since then. We started moving in that following week, and we could not get internet. Tracy made an appointment online to get internet, and they said it was going to be a week and a half or 2 weeks, and so 2 weeks came by. Tracy called the day before because she had to work the next day on the scheduled appointment, and when she called, Comcast said, we don't have any record of a scheduled appointment. We don't know what you're talking about. So Tracy goes through the whole thing, and the guy tells her, yeah, you don't have an appointment, so we're going to make a new one, and that'll be 2 to 3 weeks. And so, of course, I'm getting frustrated because we've already been 3 weeks without internet, and now we're going to have to be an additional 2 or 3 weeks, and that means I'm going to miss most of March Madness. And depending on when they came, I could have missed WrestleMania, and it's just really frustrating. So there we were, sitting there waiting to just wait out the 2 or 3 weeks, figure we had to upgrade to unlimited data on our phone because from where that's all we had for the past 3 weeks, we had went over, or not over, we were close to going to over on our data, and I told her just to switch it to unlimited. And of course, Verizon caps your data even on an unlimited plan. Once you get past a certain amount, they throttle it, and internet on our phone was even useless. So that was a really cool experience, but that's something for a different time. And so it was last Friday, we decided we were going to go to Savory Flavors, which was like, well, it's probably my favorite restaurant in the area. Kind of a toss-up between that and Big Whiskey, but I love both of them, and I love them both for different reasons, but that, again, that's a different video. And so we went out to eat, and Savory Flavors was super crowded. And Savory Flavors is generally crowded, but at the time that we went, it's usually died down a little bit, and it's a lot easier to get in. And we had Noah, and I didn't feel like standing and waiting, so I just told her, I said, let's just go home, and then once we put Noah to bed, I'll go out and get something. And Tracy was like, oh, cool. She was like, we haven't had Arby's in a while. Why don't you go pick up Arby's? Because the Arby's in Bluefield closed, so now you have to drive 30 minutes to Princeton. That's a whole different story. But I said, okay, yeah, that sounds okay. I can do that. So we ended up heading home. Now, when we got home, there was a guy parked in front of my driveway, and I was like, oh, that's weird. But then I saw that his kid was going door to door selling stuff for school. I think he played baseball or something like that for a local school, or I don't know, something of that nature. And so he was knocking on the door. He went over to the next door, like he had just left my house right as I was pulling up, and I pulled in, and you know, I was like, well, if he comes back over here, we'll address the situation or whatever. And then he came back over, and he was like, oh, hey, we're selling blah blah for this, for, you know, fundraiser for school. What, buddy? So he said, would you want to buy this? And I was like, yeah, sure, man. We'll take a look at it. I said, you're going to have to give us a second. I said, we just moved in. Tracy, you know, she, like, her checkbook and stuff was packed, and she was like, give me a second to go in and find it. And I was like, well, I'll stand outside and talk to you, because I didn't want the guy to think that, like, oh, yeah, we'll buy it, and then we just go in and never come out. So I was talking to him for a bit and blah. And anyway, he said, I noticed he was wearing it was an Xfinity shirt and hat. And I was like, hey, man, can I ask you a question? Do you work for Comcast? And he kind of, he was like, hi, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get, like, super angry with you or anything, and I'm not going to yell at you, because I'm sure a lot of these employees get that. I said, but I just want to ask you a question real quick, man. Is that cool? And he said, sure. And I said, so me and my wife, and I explained to him the whole situation and blah. And he said, people in the 800 number, they have a system that they go by, and they don't know the areas, and they don't really care to look into anything or anything like that. And he said, it's not going to take 2 to 3 weeks, he said, because what they had to do was a survey, essentially. He said, don't waste time with survey. He said, go down to the local office, talk to this girl, tell her that you talked to me. It's a serviceable area. You're good to go, and we'll get somebody out as soon as possible. I was like, wow, that was really helpful. We talked a little bit. That's a very, very watered down version of the story, but I think you get the point. But he was very, very helpful. And so Monday, Tracy went down to the local office. She was like, oh, hey, I need to sign up for internet. And the woman was like, oh, cool, what's your name? Tracy told him her name. And she said, oh, yeah, so-and-so told me about it. He already gave me all the information and everything. And she was like, let me double check your address, because he had wrote our address down because we told it to him, but, you know, didn't really expect him to go in and tell it, you know, but he did. They had literally got everything set up. They were just waiting on Tracy to come in and say, you know, make sure that that's what they wanted, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, cool, you're good to go. We've got you scheduled for installation on Wednesday. And sure enough, Wednesday, they came and installed our friggin' internet, and we now have internet. No, Wednesday was yesterday. Well, 2 days ago for you guys. But I just thought it was really, really cool how that guy, and I guess that's the thing, man. I guess when you are face-to-face with somebody, it's just like the internet. It's just like your Facebook friends. You have Facebook friends that post stuff that you know that's not how they really feel, and they're clearly just doing it for the purpose of being like, look how righteous I am, or they'll say really, really mean things that you know they would never say in person. And I think that's kind of the thing with the 800 number. I think those guys on the other end of the 800 number at Comcast could give two craps less about anything. And when you speak to someone face to face, it's a lot different. And I think from here on out, you know, I can't bust on Comcast just for the way that they helped handle this situation. You all right, buddy, sneezing? I can't really hate on them for that, because they were really, really helpful. That guy was really helpful, and everybody down there was very, very helpful. And I don't know. I guess from here on out, if I have issues, I'm going to try to go to the main office first, because maybe that will be the key to not just constantly being hassled by these idiots on the 800 number. So that's it. That is the Comcast story. The main reason I wanted to do this is because, and I'm so guilty of it myself, I think I've already said this, so many people complain about Comcast, and a lot of times rightfully so, but you know what? Where there's good, sometimes there's bad, and this was a really, really good situation. Now, the first 2 weeks of it sucked, but after we got kind of started dealing with local people, it just went a lot smoother. And like I said, I'm the type of person who I will definitely eat my words when I say something bad. And I've complained about Comcast a lot, and then they help me out. So you know what? I'll be the first to say, you know what? They help me out. So point is, if you have Comcast, go to your local place, and they seem to be much more helpful than any kind of 800 number employee. So, but that is the video for today. I really, really wanted to do that because I felt like I needed to. With as much, I've made videos complaining about Comcast, and I wanted to just talk about this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to spend, well, the rest of the day working, and then the rest of the day chilling and watching March Madness, one of my favorite times of the year. And as long as anybody but Duke wins, I'll probably be okay. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow.